Hi, I'm Nick Crawford. I'm the founder and CEO of Work Networks. We're a Workplace by Facebook partner who work with all sorts of organisations on connecting people internally, internal communications and engagement. And very lucky, particularly lucky to be working with UNICEF UK. Shaulan.
Hi, I'm Shaulan Chanlewis, and I'm Internal Communications Officer in UNICEF UK.
John was going to be presenting today and couldn't make it, but we had a quick look at the first engagement scores after you came in, and you could see in some areas there was a department where there's a 25% increase in understanding of the strategy, for example, as a result of your work. There's a 10% increase across the board of freedom of opinions, 7% increase in management support, peer relationships. So there's a measurable increase through your employee engagement survey, which yes. I forget what you use for that, but it's...
we use Peakon.
Peakon, that's right.
And in fact, it launched pretty much the same time as our workplace implementation. So it was quite a timely way to kind of measure that things were moving in the right direction. So it's really helpful to be able to measure it, absolutely. Our chief exec does so we have an opportunity every month for all staff to get together, and we alternate. So on 1 month it will be a structured agenda where it's sort of, from the centre out. Yeah. And then the next one will be an open agenda where it's questions back in.
Right, okay.
That really, really works. And then we can just be a bit more connected with the planning of that, so we can post the agenda in advance, we can have comments back. If people have been sharing videos or anything, that can all be posted up. And of course, we can stream it live, which we do. Yeah, so a big part of helping shape and kind of push our culture has been having the online platform, because we're using Workplace. And that's, there's always been a drive for people to connect, and we kind of had, a bit of haphazard kind of forays into with other platforms before, but this one worked because I think it was seen as being fully endorsed by the exec, which really helped. We had people who have never been on, avoid social networks externally, like in their personal lives, but who, when they started using an online platform at work, were actually really been great champions. Right. And so it means that we can share examples. We also have a document management system now that people can access from anywhere. We've just upgraded our laptops. So that people have got a much better out-of-office experience, and so we're trying to be much more diverse in all sorts of ways, and the people that we have working with us, the people we're reaching, and just in the mindset and the culture that we're trying to promote it. I think just making sure that people can tell their stories, that's really important, that people can share stories that have inspired them. We need to connect people up with, the evidence and the data that proves that what we do makes an impact, and then we need to share the human impact of that and share the kind of, photos and videos. So I think people just feeling like when they have something to share that they're inspired by and that they're proud of, that they can just get out there and do it. And our role as internal communications isn't to do all the talking and the sharing, it's to just make sure everybody else feels that they've got permission to, and that they're welcome to. And then getting the responses back that prove that people have been touched and moved, that reinforces it. There are tools out there that people can use, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. So I would just say, pick something up and try it, but talk to each other first and make sure that, one thing that really worked for us was having the champions, and that's been an approach that's worked for actually all of our kind of anything we've needed to implement. So you just have your champions, and they sort of, they're the eyes and the ears, and they're reporting back in two ways, and that makes a huge difference, and you can't do everything on your own anyway, and you certainly don't have all the kind of necessary viewpoints. So definitely champions, because that's your smaller, tighter group of engagers, and your engagement's there, and then it's spreading out. A very interesting challenge we have at the moment, and I guess we and other charities have been grappling with it for a long time, is how do you motivate supporters, and how do you share your stories where people realise that it's really important to keep supporting and to keep making donations and online actions and so on. And so it's that fine balance between talking about the work that you do, and our beneficiaries are children and their communities. And so how do we talk about the work we do for children without kind of objectifying the children, without exploiting them? And it's really tricky because most organisations will say, well, when we show need, we get more donations, and that's what we need. And then, but also we don't want to present, development work of any kind as being, a bottomless pit. There's no point. Nothing will ever improve. And so those conversations have been going on, at all levels in our organisation. We're totally, we want to respect the rights of the young people we work for. We work with very heroic communities, local heroes, and what we actually want to do is reflect the impact of their work. And so, people have asked those questions. How can we make sure that it's not just the abject baby in a video? How can we show, the amazing, inspirational young people we meet all of the time? And so the work has been happening, in terms of our policy, our processes, in terms of getting input from other parts of UNICEF. And so we've strengthened our safeguarding. Those conversations have been happening in the all staff briefings, online on our workplace communities, and then that's translated into actual training, actual policies and procedures.